Hello everyone, my name is Marty Party, and I'm a top ad streamer with MeetMe. In a few moments, I'm going to be taking you on a journey and answering some questions. I am so excited to share my story with you. Now let's get started. He had told me that he was a former top badge on the app and thought that this would be a good opportunity for both of us to download the app. I get really excited talking to people and giving advice to people and helping people along the way, because when I first started, I really didn't have anyone guiding me, and it made it very difficult. And I just wanted to be a mentor to people on the app. Streaming changed my life because this became how I identified myself. This became my job. This became something that I did every day that I focused on. And it was a way also for me to interact with a lot of people that I wouldn't have interacted with. I got to see a lot of places in this world where I've never had a chance to go to. In 5 words, I would describe it as fun, entertaining, innovative, a career, and social. Some people don't know that I was a shy person growing up until the point that I joined MeetMe. I was very afraid of speaking in public and interacting with large groups of people. I always press go live because I know that if I don't press go live, I'm just going to waste my day, not doing anything. I know at least if I get up, I press go live, there's an opportunity for me to talk to people, to meet people, and support myself. I would tell streamers that they have to be consistent and don't focus so much on getting everything 100% perfect. You don't need perfect equipment. You don't need a perfect backdrop. You don't need fancy recognition boards. You just need yourself. You just need to go on, push the go live button, whatever hours that you could commit to, just make sure that you stay consistent with that so that your followers can look for you. Met up with a couple supporters on the app, or we went out to lunch. These were all male supporters that happen to live in my area. I had opportunities to travel to other places, but because of COVID, I just never got around to it. Right now, I started a project with a consulting company working on international tax provisions. But that was recent. Before that, I was doing public accounting work, doing individual and small business tax returns for clients. Prior to that, I was involved in a lot of volunteer organizations and even did some stuff in politics. I stream on an iPad, an iPad Pro that I had purchased right during when COVID started. And I went to the store and I was trying to do research as to what iPad to get. And they said, well, this is the only one that we have in the whole store. So that's what I purchased. Before that, I was streaming on an old tablet that would always crash on me. So that's basically it. I stream on an iPad. I have a stand. I have a secondary device in case people need to message me or if I need to visit streams, while I'm streaming. I used to have a lot of backdrops and stuff that I would use, but I kind of did away with it because I wanted people to see me in my more natural type element. I see people streaming with their own phone, and you see that the streams drop because they get a phone call, or you see that their phone drops because it's not secured properly. So that's something that's really frustrating when you're getting into a stream. All of a sudden, the stream just abruptly ends. Also, make sure to have really good internet connection, because there's nothing worse than seeing it where people are kind of blurred or they're lagging. So having a good internet connection with a good device to stream on and have at least one secondary device in case someone needs to get in contact with you. I think, and also making sure to have a streaming chair. I kind of put that off for a while, but in addition to having it look nice and more professional, is better for your posture, especially if you're going to be sitting for a long period of time. The most important thing, for my streamer experience is to try not to be interrupted. So, and being able to focus on my viewers. Sometimes you get phone calls. Sometimes people are trying to get your attention. And a lot of times you have people coming into your stream and they want your attention. They're like, hey, can you please check this message? Please check this snap. But hey, like I'm focusing on all of my viewers. So that's really important to give people your undivided attention. I think I would do several things different. I think that I would focus more on being a streamer first than being a supporter. I try, when I first started streaming, even though I was streaming every day, I was supporting a lot of people, and people kind of get confused. They're like, well, are you really streaming to make, or are you just doing this for fun and you really just want to support people? That's one of the things. Also, maybe trying to put in more effort with my Instagram page and trying to build that up from the very beginning. I had someone put together one for me that maybe if I would have put it together myself and try to push that more to develop more following, maybe become more familiar with Snapchat. A lot of streamers have used that as a way to advertise when they're going live. And certain technologies, could have improved upon. Maybe waiting instead of waiting several months to get better streaming equipment. Maybe doing that from the very beginning, getting the iPod stand chair from day one. Love to continue streaming. Streaming is something that took me a long time to build up to get to where I'm at. And I'd like to continue doing this and continue to reinvent myself and find other ways to entertain people. Coming up with better content, finding other ways to mentor people. I'd also like to start traveling and streaming abroad, especially with those people that I support and those who support me. Totally amazing. I knew that it was going to happen at one point. I didn't know exactly when. I tried to keep it to myself because I knew I would be getting a lot of hate uh, because there's a lot of jealousy. When as you start moving up to the top, and I was very unorthodox with how I got there. I was not 100% streamer who used this as their only source of income from the beginning. I had other sources of income. I was able to support a lot of people to build up my fan base, and this is something that people really liked about me, that I was kind of like a hybrid in the beginning. And it wasn't until they started coming into my stream that they realized that I'm a pretty good entertainer, more than just a supporter. And I started competing in a lot of contests when they opened them up to non-top badges, which gave people that I supported an opportunity to show some support and give me an opportunity to get some recognition, where before the recognition was only for top badges and not supporters. And through contests and later through dancing with other streamers throughout the world. That's what I became known at doing, and also giving lessons to newer streamers. People would come every day into my stream so I could teach them something about the app, because that was something that was never really done before. And then later coming up with really creative types of contests, such as auctions for streamers throughout the world, eating competitions, streaming apprentice shows, dating shows. I always try to push the envelope and come up with things that other streamers never thought about doing, or maybe just didn't want to do. So doing a combination of different types of content and really trying to help those who had supported me, and also visiting big streams in the beginning and get there's some streams that I would hang out in for many hours, and I got to know all of their viewers and all their supporters, and I really pushed a lot of streamers from the very beginning who became superstars on the app. And I remember them when they're very small and just starting out, and a lot of them do appreciate it and recognize that, and gave me advice as well. So a combination of doing all of these things. It took a very long time. I borrowed a lot of money on my credit cards to support streamers that I believed in and that would become very big and successful on the app. And I just kind of waited it out. There were times where I had to go back to work so I can kind of manage my debts to keep going on the app. But once I got to that level, you can see I just took off exponentially, especially when I was awarded my top batch in the middle of January. You could really see, the progress, that I was making. And while a lot of streamers went back to work because COVID was pretty much over, or they found other opportunities, I've always been there streaming every single day, an average 8 hours a day, not one day off. And that's how I came to number one, doing a combination of all these different things. For me, to be a successful streamer is somebody who can do this full time and support themselves and not have to worry about paying bills because they know that the money's coming in from streaming. So just having a budget that you need to make, and I've talked to a lot of streamers who ask me for help. I said, okay, well, how much money do you really need to make every week or every month to support yourself? If you're able to achieve that, so you're making enough money doing something that you really love. And some of the most successful streamers on the app, they don't stream that many hours. So that allows them to have a lot of free time to travel and spend time with friends and family and do other things. And you don't need to make like the maximum, you just need to make, enough just to support yourself and have some fun. And that's something that I wanted to do. As I wanted to retire from full-time working and just stream and be able to enjoy myself. And that's why I think now, after over a year and a half on here, these last couple months have been the most successful for me by far.